Welcome everyone. My name is Julien Verheughe. I am a Odoo solution architect here at Dear Digital. And today we're going to talk about Odoo for service companies and how you can streamline your operations from lead to invoice for your own service company. We're going to do a small introduction about Dear Digital for the people who don't know us. It's going to be very short. And then we're going to dive right into the core of the subject, why running a service business is hard, why Odoo is built for it, and the largest part of the webinar will be actual deep dive into Odoo and a couple of sub-processes. And after that, we'll do a Q&A, so you will be able to ask questions through the chat. I will answer them. So please keep your questions for until the Q&A part, and we'll make sure to have some time for that. All right, let's start. So I think most people will maybe know Dear Digital, but I assume a couple of you won't. So we are a Odoo and Shopify partner, implementation partner. We started about 5 years ago. In those 5 years, we grew to 45 plus Odoo consultants, project managers, developers, etc. In the meantime, we've also become a Odoo Gold partner last quarter. So now we're one of 11 gold partners in Belgium. Our team has won multiple awards in the Odoo space as well. We have about 100 plus projects ranging from 1 user to 250 users. So a wide variety of customers there as well. We are trusted by a couple of key customers that you can see here, like Thermomix, Citymesh, Lano, etc. These are all companies that have worked with us in the past or today. And that's Dear Digital in a nutshell. I won't bore you with the excessive details. You can always visit our website or email me directly. Now, let's really dive into the core of this webinar. So why are you all here? Because running a service business is hard and you're looking to make it easier. What are the most common challenges I've seen in the last few years with Dear Digital? We're also a service company ourselves, but also with leads, with customers. It's always a recurring theme. It's always the same things, honestly. And those are these key things right here that you see on your screen. So often we have a fragmented technological landscape. We have service companies working with a Pipedrive CRM, with an Asana project management system, with Bullet, invoicing, Exact Online, accounting, and then 1,000 Excels to consolidate all of these systems data into reports that they can use to see how performant they are. This leads to a very inefficient service project lifecycle. You lose a lot of time with those consolidation processes, and there's a lot of duplicate data as well in your system landscape. All of this also results in poor visibility on your margins and other KPIs. It's really hard to keep track of that, or it takes a lot of time to make these types of reports that are always static as well. It's never real time. It's always a snapshot of a moment in time, and a day later, those reportings are outdated. Also, the amount of admin time or overhead that these inefficient processes cost are really not to be underestimated. It really lowers your capacity for billable time. And in the end, it creates inconsistent workflows. Employees are not happy with a chaotic process and chaotic system landscape. So it has also some downstream effects in that way. All right, so why is Odoo built to solve these issues? It has I would say, every module that you could need, whether you're a recruitment agency, whether you're a project business, or whether you're a digital marketing agency that works with retainers or other types of models. Odoo has something for everyone, I would say. The core modules are all there for managing leads to quotations, to orders, to the actual projects, to time tracking, invoicing, accounting. It's all in the same database, in the same system, which allows you to create a lot of powerful reporting without having to export, import Excel files into one consolidated Excel file. So your whole end-to-end project service lifecycle is completely in one system. Because of that, full integration into one system, it also allows you to move through the lifecycle, through the whole project in a much more efficient way without having to duplicate data, without having to do manual data entry and so forth. And lastly, what I already said was the fact that it's all real-time data in your reporting really allows you to be very, very accurate with your decision making in real time. Okay, so when I say or when I talk about the full service lifecycle in Odoo, this can change depending on the type of service company that you are, but it basically starts with a lead and it ends with invoicing and reporting. There are some differences that can happen in between. In this example, I'm really talking about a project type of business, for example, a business like us that implements ERP implementation projects. So this full service lifecycle management from lead to quotation to project execution, time tracking, invoicing, and reporting, this is all captured within the Odoo system. And this is done through a couple of key modules. So when you're looking at a service company, you have some core modules that really capture that life cycle of a project, from CRM for lead management, from sales for quotation and order management, project for project and task management, and then timesheets for creating timesheet records, accounting for creating invoices, and just doing your accounting in general. But there's also a plethora of additional modules that I probably won't cover that much in this webinar, but you should know they are there. You have your employee module to manage your whole organization, from employee contracts to working hours to CVs to skill base. These are all things that you can actually capture within Odoo as well. You have the website module as well. So if you want to build your business website on Odoo and generate leads automatically when someone fills out a contact form, that's also possible. You can also set up a help desk if you have a service team with a ticketing system. You can register time off. So your employees can register time off in Odoo as well. You have signing modules, you have expense modules, and so forth. These are just a couple of them that I thought would be interesting for you, but there's definitely much, much more. All right, so we'll be talking about the core modules specifically today in the function of the project lifecycle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive directly into the demo. We have about, I would say, 30 minutes to do that. So let's dive into it. The first thing I'm going to demo is the Subflow lead quotation signed order project. So you have a new potential customer that you will manage in your pipeline. You will send an offer to them, they will agree to it, and that's the first step of your project lifecycle, getting that order signed. So how is this managed in Odoo? Let me show you. So for the people who haven't seen Odoo yet, then you haven't seen my previous webinar, Odoo 101. Definitely take a look at that. I explain some of the key concepts of Odoo. I will not cover them here because we already did a webinar about that. So just some basic stuff. I installed the modules that I will demonstrate today. And we're going to start in the CRM module. This is where I have my leads. So I'm going to open the module. It's also a test database. Just if you're wondering whether this red bar is important, that's what that means. Okay, so I have my pipeline here. I have a very simple pipeline with 4 stages. And leads are created here either manually or it can be integrated with another system, or you can generate them yourselves with the generate leads feature. But most of the time, people contact us or contact the service company and ask for yeah, a discovery call, or it's more outbound and you will actually contact people. At some point, someone will actually add a lead here. So let's open one of these leads. What we're going to do here is we're going to add all the information that is applicable for this lead. We can add tags, we can add closing dates, and other important properties for this lead. But in a nutshell, this lead will move from new to qualified to proposition, and at some point we're going to create a quotation. So I'm not going to dive too deep into the CRM features. Just know it's a pipeline leads management system that's pretty standard. You can actually also integrate your email with it so that all the email chains are saved here in the chatter on your right side. This way, all of the communication, all of the information is centralized. But once we're in the proposition step, we're actually going to create a new quotation. So key takeaway here is that I have a lead. I've entered some data about this lead, and now I'm going to create a quotation without having to do a lot of manual data entry again. So I can just click here on new quotation. Here we go. We're going to use one of the quotation templates that I already created. So I have a couple of types of projects that I can actually I actually sell a couple of times a year. So it's a recurring. And for this, I create a quotation template, for example, a marketing pack for 100 hours. There we go. So it automatically fills out my quotation with the quantity, the rate, and also the services that I will offer. So here you can also see that I have some sections between the actual order lines, just to have a nice structure in my quotation. All right, so what are we actually selling here? We're selling digital marketing services. So we have our marketing service here, and we have our setup of Google Ads here, 4 hours for this, 100 hours for this. It's both the same product in Odoo in this case. So your order is built from a specific product, and it's important because in this product that I will open right now, you will actually see the configuration, which is very crucial for the rest of the process, mainly the invoicing policy. What we're going to do later in this process is we're going to invoice our time based on timesheets directly from the sales order. So I'm going to show this later, but to make this available, or make this possible rather, you need to set the right invoicing policy. You have different options. You have fixed price, you have based on milestones, you have based on delivered quantity, but that you type in manually, or you can do it based on timesheets. So people log time and you invoice that time directly. In our example, we're going to use based on timesheets. What's the key takeaway here is that you have different business models in the service industry, and this really allows you to do different types of projects and invoice them in a different type of way. You will also notice here that I have a create an order configuration here. So when the order is confirmed, it will automatically create a project with tasks, and it will use this template project that I've already configured to create a new project. So this really automates this whole step for me. I don't need to create all of the tasks in the project. It will be automated automatically. Let's go back to our order. So what I will do now is I will actually send the order to the customer. What I can do here in this process is I can also add some extra attachments like contractual terms and so forth. But I'm going to skip that for now. I'm just going to send it. So as you can see here on the right side, the quotation is sent. If they would answer on it or if they open the quotation, I will actually see this in the chatter here. So what the customer will get is this email, and in this email, they will have a button. When they click this button, they will actually open the quotation in the portal view, and it will look like this. There we go. So this is what the customer would see minus this blue thing here. And here they can just check whether everything is in order. They can also communicate with you. So here they can write communication. But the most important part here is that they can also accept and sign the quotation. So this is your sign off for the project. They will click the accept and sign button. And then they can just accept it. This will automatically confirm the quotation to a sales order. And when this happens, when it's confirmed to a sales order, the project will automatically be created as well. So let's go back to edit mode in the back office to see what we as a internal user of this company would see. And here we go. The order is signed by Blue Peak Legal, and it automatically created a project for me. I would maybe just rename this project to digital marketing Blue Peak Legal. There we go. But it automatically create this project for me. The settings are all correct here as well. So it's billable. I can log timesheets. It's linked to the correct sales order. Invoicing wise, I can also set different hourly rates per employee if I would want to. So that's a nice feature here as well. I won't do it right now. And it also created all of the tasks in a Kanban board as well. So there's a couple of tasks here that were in template, and there's then also some tasks here that were that are coming from the sales order. So if you look at the tasks that are created here as well, it's automatically linked to the sales order line item. So when I invoice the time that has been logged on this task, it will actually invoice this sales order line. So if I go back here, it will be invoiced on this line here. All right. Okay, so that's the first part, the first subflow, going from a lead to a quotation to a signed order to a project. Now we're going to go to the key takeaways here. So of this first subflow. So the key takeaways here is that it's a fully integrated sales process. I never had to leave the system. The data only has to be entered once. So I only entered the contact data in the beginning. I added the project data as well, and the quotation. There's also traceability. All of the objects that I create, a lead, a contact, a sales order, are all interconnected. Maybe I'll show this a bit better. So here on the top side, you have my projects. I have my lead here as well. Here we go. So here you can also see it's linked to the sales order. And I have my tasks here as well. The timesheet records are also here, but no time has been logged yet. Other key takeaways are that all of the tasks are automatically linked to the sale order line items, meaning that you can basically invoice whenever you want. There's no extra steps needed. The only thing that needs to happen now is time being logged. There's also an integration with Gmail and Outlook to put your email threads in the leads during the sales process. For more complex modules, you can also use, for more complex contracts, I mean, you can also use the sign feature. So this is like a DocuSign where you can just upload a file and add some signature tabs to it, add some dates to it, and then you can send it to your customer for signature. So that's also possible. It is not linked to the sales order though. So this is for more complex contractual projects that you can use. Okay, so that was the first subflow. We're going to go to the second one. So we have our projects, we have our tasks, and now we're going to execute, and we're going to report on it, and we're going to manage the project. So let's do that. Okay, make some water. Okay, so I opened the project module. And the first thing I see is just all of the projects that are going on. I can change this view whichever I want. I can add some extra information here, next milestone, tags, and so forth, the project manager. But this is just the basic project overview here. When I select a project, I can also add some look at some menus. I can look at the timesheets, the milestones, the documents, the tasks, some dashboarding. I can go into the settings here as well. So all of this is all centralized here on this project. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the dashboard. This is where a lot of information comes together about this project. I have some smart buttons here up top. So all of the invoices, all of the sales orders linked to it, the timesheet trackers, the tasks. These are all clickable buttons. So I can just go directly as a project manager, can go directly to the timesheets, see how much time has been logged by who. So this is all very easily accessible for me. What the sales order is. So we've sold 600 hours, we've delivered 280, but we've already invoiced 400, the special invoicing schedule with some advances. Also on my right side, I can actually see the revenue, how much still has to be invoiced, how much already has been invoiced. And here below, I can actually see the costs. So this is calculated automatically based on the timesheet records and the hourly cost per employee. So on all my employees, I have an hourly cost where you can actually see this hourly cost is set here, and it will automatically calculate the cost of my project based on the timesheets and based on the invoicing. Okay, so this is really your project dashboard. Here you can also add some project status update meetings. You can add some templates here as well. And this way you can track the status of every project and every meeting. Okay, let's dive into the task overview. So this is really the core of task management. You have a classic Kanban board here with stages. You can set up these stages any way you want to. This is really a chronological stage flow where you have a backlog to do and progress done. But these can also be, I've seen like buckets of different types of tasks that are managed, or you can do it in every way that you want to. In this case, it's a custom web app project. So we're actually developing things. So you can move your task through the stage. You can also view your tasks like this in a list view or in a Gantt chart where you can manage these as well. You can zoom out, you can see from this here, for example. And this way you can actually see the timeline of your project. There's other types of views as well, from pivot tables to graphs to others. But these are all of the different viewing types. Okay, so what can you do here? Well, you have your task overview, and every task, of course, can have a description, does have timesheets that are tracked, can have subtasks. All of your task information is saved here. We use this as well, or I mean, every service company uses for your internal communication on specific tasks, specific to-dos that have to be done. As you can see here, there's a chatter where all changes are tracked, and all of the communication between internal team members is also visible. So this is really the core of the project management part, and yeah, where most executing team members will be living. It's also connected to every to the sales order line item. So when we invoice, we will actually invoice this time on this sales order line item. All right. So that's in a nutshell, the project module, and it's really the execution part of your project. There's other modules as well for different types of service companies. For example, you have the recruitment module for recruiting companies, where you have also a similar setup where you can set up stages, add job applicants, and so forth. I'm not going to dive into this one now because it would be too much and we only have 1 hour. But if you are a company that's more interested in this part, then I can definitely do a separate private demonstration for you. Okay, so we have our project. Well, maybe we want to share our project with the customer as well. We want them to look at our project dashboard. We want them to see the progress. That's also possible. So if we go to our customer on this project here, you will see that I've already granted portal access to this customer. So what I've done is I've just clicked on the settings of this customers and clicked on grant portal access. And this has sent them an email where they can create a password and log into the portal. So that's this here. I'm hoping that you can actually see this, but the account structure is basically being able to see the orders, the invoices, the project tasks, and timesheets. So as you can see here, I'm logged in as the customer, and this is what I can see. So if you click on this, you can see the original order that was agreed upon. I have the invoices as well that have already been created and sent. I can open these, but most interesting part is that I can actually see the project as well. Here we go. So me as a customer, I can actually look into your own project overview and see which task is in which step. Maybe there's one step where I have to do something. That would be very clear for me. When I open a task, I don't see all of the internal communication. I just see the communication between myself and you. So that's also very important note. All right. So this is very impressive, I think. There's not a lot of systems that allow this to be done for your tasks and for your um, invoices and orders and timesheets at the same time. So the timesheets are also visible here for me, which is very nice. Um, you can actually disable these views if you want to. So if you just want to show the project and tasks, then that's possible. If you just want to show the invoices, that's possible. So you do have some um, options here to disable what they can see and what they can't see. Okay, so that's the portal. I know I'm going a bit fast, but if I want to get through the whole project lifecycle, I will have to. I think the key takeaways here are that it's a complete project and task management tool. So you can manage multiple projects. You can manage tasks over different projects. You have your dashboard. You have all of your reporting centralized. And it's fully integrated with your time tracking, your invoicing, and so forth. So it's really a end-to-end project management system. Additionally, you have then the project portal if you want to share or collaborate with people outside of your organization, like customers or maybe a different partner, then that's definitely possible. And you can also grant them different levels of accessibility. Then there's also a lot of features, a lot of viewing types. So you have dependencies, subtasks, milestones. You have different types of views like Kanban, Gantt, calendar. These are all things that a project manager likes to see. Okay, then what happens after you've or once you're executing the project? Time is logged and time is then also invoiced. In this particular example, I will follow a invoicing timesheet model. But you can also, like I said before, when I was showing the product and the invoicing policy on the product, you can also do fixed time invoicing. You can invoice based on milestones and so forth. But in a traditional service company, a lot of times the timesheets are directly invoiced, time and materials. Okay, so how does this happen? There we go. So first of all, if we go to a project, there we go. If we go to a project, for example, the ERP implementation project, we go to timesheets. Now we can actually just create new timesheets here with our user. We can select the task and we can also add the time to it. For example, 12 hours. So this is how you, sorry, this is how you log time. There's different ways to do it. You can create timesheet records like this, but you can also just go to the task. So I'm going to take this example here, and you can just click on start. You can click on stop, and it will log time for you. You can add descriptions, but this way is also possible. Here we go. Right, so different ways to log time via the timesheet module as well. You can just click on start, select the project, select the task, and stop here. Or also here, you can just add new records and add all of the information. This is really the simple part of this subflow login time. It's nothing more to it. But what is the most interesting part here is that, okay, you've logged time, but now you want to also invoice this time. So in this example, I'm going to invoice the time for, I will do Blue Peak Legal here. And as you can see here, we have delivered 1,568 hours, but we've invoiced only 1,354 hours. So we're going to create a new invoice for this month. So because I have a product here in my sales order that has an invoicing policy of based on timesheets, it will actually ask me what the timesheet period window is that I want to invoice. In this case, I'm going to invoice the June time. I know we are only the 11th, but I already want to see my money. So I'm going to create an invoice. This will create a draft invoice. It will not directly book it into your accounting. You have to still confirm it. So there's a quality control step here as well, or rather a check if you want to see what you're actually going to invoice. So it created this draft invoice that I still have to confirm. You can see it's still linked to my sales order. It's going to invoice 100.97 hours. As you can see here, that's rounded up to 101 hours here in the Smart button. If I click on this, I go directly to the timesheet records that will be invoiced. So this is really also, again, a nice full integration of your timesheets records with your invoice. Okay, so this looks fine. I can change this if I want to. I can change the rate as well if I want to. But for now, I'm going to confirm it. So now it's actually posted, as you can see, and I'm going to send this invoice to the customer. There you go. An invoice was created, and here below I can actually see the communication. If they answer on this email, it will just also be added here, but the invoicer will also receive an email. What happens after this? It's not over yet, of course, because they still have to pay. They will actually do a payment, or they won't. If they do a payment, then the bank transaction will be synced to your accounting module, to your bank, and the reconciliation models of Odoo will automatically match these bank transactions with your invoice and will mark that invoice as paid. I'm not going to show this because it's pretty basic stuff. I'm going to continue to the next part, which is a bit more interesting. There's also a feature if they don't pay that you can send automatic payment reminders. So this is all automated as well. Okay. So I think that's it for the invoicing part. Here we go. So the key takeaways here are you invoice only in a couple of clicks. You invoice either based on timesheets, milestones, fixed price. There's different types of invoicing policies here. And all of the communication regarding the invoice is all captured in the chatter and the sidebar. You can also automate the payment reminders and the reconciliation as well. So this is all very easy at the end of the month instead of the chaos that a lot of companies know. Okay, time check. We have 50 more minutes. That's perfect, I think. The last part that really brings everything together is the reporting part. So as you've seen throughout the demo, I've never had to go outside of Odoo. All of my processes are in Odoo, meaning all of my data is also in Odoo. My timesheets, my invoices, my sales orders, my employees, my projects, my tasks, my time off as well. All of this information, all of this data is recorded in Odoo. Due to this, I'm allowed, it's possible for me to create dashboards in Odoo that also use and harness this data. And this is what I'm going to show you right now. Okay. So we have our dashboarding module. This is a standard Odoo module. And the way this works is it basically uses Excel type data. So what I mean with that, I will show. So you have your dashboards here that you can create yourself. Odoo will already add some dashboards themselves. But you can also create your own dashboards. The ones that you will see under services is our dashboard that we created ourselves. And the way that it works is behind these dashboards, you have the Odoo documents module or the spreadsheet module that allows you to manipulate data and display data in a way that you want to with the flexibility of an Excel file, but powered by the data of Odoo. So I'm going to show you this in a second. So we have our dashboards here. For example, this one is one that we created where you can select the different months. So we've added these filters, a time filter, and we've added these KPI records that are important for us as a business. So we have our billability. This is how much of the logged time was actually billable. Then the realization percentage is how much of this billable time that we actually invoiced. And then we have the revenue, which everybody knows, average billable rates, which is the average rate that we were able to bill, and always compared to the targets as well. So you can see here the target was 100 euros for the average billable rate, so I'm 6 above. Here the realization target was 95%, so I'm 5 less than that. And all of this data behind it is dynamic. So if somebody would create a new invoice or log extra time or etc. in the month of May, in this case, as I'm looking at it now, then this data would be changed. So my reporting would change. So what you really need to take away here is that this is the type of reporting that a lot of companies do with Excel, but they always need to do it in a specific moment, and they can never, well, the data is never live, so it's always static. In this case, the data is 100% real time. So I can easily change this as well and go to different months, and it will automatically change. Now, let's take a quick look under the hood of this dashboard. It's loading. It's a test environment. Those are always a bit slower. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to open one of these. And as you can see, I'm in a spreadsheet type of system here, but I'm still in Odoo. This dashboard here is actually fed by pivot tables that you can export into this spreadsheet. So what I mean with that is to show you, I can actually easily export data from, for example, my timesheet data, which is probably my most important data. I can easily make this data be viewed in a certain way with my group bys and my filters as well. So in this case, I'm just going to do employees. I'm going to do filter, for example, 25. And then I can insert the spreadsheet into, or this pivot table into a spreadsheet. And I can actually use this data to create dashboards. And this data is directly linked to the pivot table that I created, so it will automatically update these numbers when somebody creates new timesheet records. And this is the power of the dashboard module, actually this part. It's not creating the dashboards themselves. That's possible with any Excel type of system, but having your data fed into a spreadsheet and be real time is the powerful part. So if I go back to my spreadsheet here, this is the underlying data to achieve this dashboard, which is then shown in the dashboard module for user-friendly view. Okay, so that's in a nutshell the dashboard view. You can create any dashboard that you want to. If you report on recruits or on employees or on projects or on anything else, as long as the data is in Odoo, you can report on it. And if you're gonna do all of your processes in Odoo, capture all that data in Odoo, then the sky's the limit, really. To give you a better example, and I will then stop at 3 minutes. To show you here, let's say, for example, from 10th to the 14th of March. There we go. I can actually see the performance of every employee based on the data that they have performed in this week. So this gives me a real snapshot of who are the high performers, who are the low performers, and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to skip a couple of slides here. I'm going to go to the takeaways for reporting. So takeaway here is you have the flexibility of Excel, but you have the power of real-time Odoo data. This is really a very nice feature that a lot of people use and want to use. You can report on key business metrics in real time. I've named a couple of them here: ABR, revenue margins, logged hours, VS billable hours, total capacity, so how much hours that are actually in your team compared to logged hours, your realization rate. These are all metrics that you can capture. You probably have your own metrics as well. So as long as you have the data in Odoo, you can capture it in cool dashboards. These are based on employee data, timesheet records, invoice, and so forth. So all of this is made possible by having all of your processes and your data in a centralized database. Okay, we only have 7 more minutes, so I'm gonna move over to the Q&A. If you have any questions, then now is the time to shoot them. Please put them in the chat so I can see them. Okay, so any questions? Can we get a copy of the presentation? Yes, that's okay. It will be sent to you. I'm looking at my colleague. Yes, it will be sent to you. Can you hide your dashboards from specific users, not everyone to see our dashboards metrics? Yes. So you can actually define on the dashboards which groups or users can actually see them. I'm still sharing, I think, yeah. So for example, the dashboard with the monthly dashboard KPI is visible for this group, so all of the internal users, but I can also add or delete different groups. So this way you can make sure that only the people that need to see it see the dashboards. Are there any other questions? Can Odoo handle the fact that invoice revenue doesn't equal accrued revenue? Yeah, so this is, I understand what you mean. Sometimes companies don't invoice based on timesheets, and your invoice time and your perform time are not the same every month. You can do this. So by using the correct invoicing policy and by setting up your dashboards in a certain way, it's definitely possible. It does demands some manual intervention to see how you want to report this accrued vs invoice revenue. But you have your invoicing data, you have your timesheet data, and with those two together, you can definitely create a report or a dashboard that shows what you want, I would say. But that's very company specific as well. Any more questions? No more questions? Okay, then I will end the webinar here. Thank you everyone for watching.